Love News. If you're going to watch real news, apart from this one, you should watch Fox 8 News, Tucker Carlson, and a couple more of his friends on there. At least they come out with news that makes sense, factual news. Let's talk about this Dr. Fauci, this little rat. Oh, I did call him a rat, but that was very naughty. But he has been telling lots of lies. Anyway, have a look at Tucker Carlson. He will explain the change and the about face by this man. This man has helped close the whole world down with his BS. And now we're seeing through that. Nursing homes, people are dying in there. And this is where they said, oh, the coronavirus people died.
I'm just testing. Just testing.
People totally isolated from their families have died, not allowed visitors. So it's been crueler than any prison possible. So have a look at this, guys. And it's factual. He talks about Dr. Fauci, how he's changed his mind from this deadly virus to the fact the lockdown is more potentially damaging than the actual so-called virus, if you believe it. Okay, and the nursing home things. Thanks for watching Love News. Thanks for subscribing, everybody. Take care. Bye for now.
Welcome back to tonight's live special. Dr. Anthony Fauci has done more than maybe any other American official to promote long-term nationwide quarantines, the lockdowns that are destroying our economy.
Hello, Tomo. Nice to see you, gorgeous. We've had enough. Thanks for tuning back in. I'm just testing, peeps.
Fall might be a bad idea. But then today, Fauci seemed to wobble. Here's what he said in an interview with CNBC.
We can't stay locked down for such a considerable period of time that you might do irreparable damage and have unintended consequences, including consequences for health.
Oh, irreparable damage, unintended consequences. It might have been nice to hear a little bit more of that months ago when it actually mattered, back when doctors were being kicked off of YouTube for saying exactly the same thing. Barstool Sports President Dave Portnoy noticed and had these thoughts.
This is my whole point. Fauci, I just did a rant that went viral literally like last week because you're like, if we open up the country, everyone's going to die. I'm paraphrasing, but that's like what he said. Now, I put a little heat on him and people are like, we got to open, we're going to die if we stay inside. Now he's just, the wind blows and he's like, okay, no, we can't stay in forever. It causes irreparable damage if we stay. What is it, Fauci?
But he said, wear masks, don't wear masks. He said, the lockdown's going to go on indefinitely. We're going to end the lockdown. So it's just tough to really put that much stake in what he's saying when I just don't think he knows. Hey.
Good evening and welcome to a Tucker Carlson Tonight Live special. Months from now, if and when we're finally able to assess this pandemic rationally and honestly, it'll be clear that it was mostly a disaster for the old and the sick. 30-year-olds in Brooklyn have made the most noise, flooding the internet with their neuroses. But it's old people who've really suffered. About a third of all deaths in this country so far have occurred in long-term care facilities. We told you a lot about the tragedy unfolding in New York. As of tonight, almost 6,000 nursing home residents have died there after Governor Andrew Cuomo forced facilities to admit infected patients. But it's not only happening in New York. In New Jersey, Connecticut, and Massachusetts, for example, deaths in nursing homes account for more than half of the statewide totals. So if you're old and in a facility, this virus has been genuinely dangerous. But the real story is even worse than that, thanks to bad policies. Many nursing homes have banned all visits from relatives, even those who have tested negative for the coronavirus. That means for millions of aging Americans, lockdowns equal suffering alone, marooned in isolation away from children and grandchildren, often in the final days of their lives. It's hard to imagine anything sadder than that, but in fact, there is something sad. No visitors means no real supervision. No one who cares about the elderly can check in and see how they're doing. This is an invitation to the most awful kinds of abuse. Take a look at this video. It's from the Westwood Nursing Center in Detroit. We warn you, and we don't say this lightly, it is highly upsetting. We think you should see it because it's real. It goes on like that for 90 seconds. The monster throwing those punches is 20 years old. The helpless resident he's smashing in the face is 75. Westwood Nursing Center says it had no idea the assault.
Of course not.
The video wound up on social media. Apparently, it was posted by the proud attacker himself. People saw it and called police. They arrested him. He's in jail tonight. So what's happening in nursing homes right now? Well, we don't really know. That's the point. Family and loved ones aren't allowed in to see. Chances are they would be heartbroken if they knew.
Hi, Jesus
How did this
Jones. Lovely to see you.
It wasn't by accident. Our politicians did it. They did it to the most vulnerable people in our society, the ones who have earned the greatest respect, the Americans who actually did build this country. Now our helplessly elderly are locked in stinking cells, cut off from the only ones who love them. Some of them, as we said, are raped and beaten. Thousands and thousands have died alone. They don't deserve this, and the rest of us don't deserve the leaders whose neglect and bad judgment made it possible.
Thanks for watching. YouTube. Honey bunny, let me tell you. So yeah, we're just testing. I've got this I've got a couple of platforms. I've got Streamlabs, which is really, really good. I get 20 hours a month on there. I get, I'm not too sure on the time limits I get on here. So we're just testing these few little things out. Lord, rid us of evil. Amen, Elaine. Amen. Yeah. Oh, it has turned into a, it's just, it is, mate, you've hit the nail right on the head, Elaine. As much as we come in here and talk and do what we do, it is the evil, isn't it? It's the dark ones, isn't it? The dark souls. It's so wrong. But the bit that gets me, I'm going to have a little bit of Romney Stewart in a sec. You're going to love Rom. The bit that gets me is no one gives a damn. But they certainly will give a damn when it's affecting them, for sure. They really will. They really will. On all walks of life. You know, when you're being dragged out of a car, it's affecting you. When you're being beaten up in a nursing home, it's affecting you. When you're being pumped full of vaccines, it's affecting you. People seem to think that they go through life without all this stuff affecting them. And trust me, that's not the case. Bloody adverts. Oh, I did use this. I did use it. Right, so let's have a little bit of Rom.
At this point, what would be good to do would be to get your definition or explanation of the various terms such as dog Latin and the glossa, just so other people have a very clear idea of their similarities and their differences.
Yeah, because you know, when you say to someone, "Oh, we found the problem and it's dog Latin," but most people just go, "What's dog Latin?" They don't know what it looks like. So it's sort of what I wanted to do was I've done these. I don't know if you can sort of see these things or is that all right?
Yes.
I've done these up. Now, the first thing I've got to say is this is John Paul Smith. This is what a lot of us see on documents that charges, or you know, the police documents and the court files and everything. They actually put the whole three names together. But you've got to remember that your name in this case is not John Paul Smith. Your Christian name is John Paul, and the Smith is the surname or the cognomen or the that's a nomen, which is the power of Rome, and the Smith or the surname is the cognomen, which is the debtor of Rome, the creditor and the debtor. Well, what I'm going to do here, so it's just one thing.
Hey there, Davey Wilson.
Your real name is not John Paul Smith.
How are you, gorgeous?
And another way to realise it.
Just got me new lawn shoes.
Proper names and proper nouns never appear in this, because this text is a symbolic text, and this is a descriptive text. So there's a very big difference in the two styles of text. So you know, there's quite a lot of things to understand with these two texts. But when any words or any, well, we could say words appear in the all uppercase text, well then that is a form of Latin, because this type of writing we've found out now, and this is what all this research is, you know, like 7 years of research to ask this, because on the driver license, it was the other way around. The Smith was in front and the John Paul was the other way around. But the question that was put to Magistrate Pinder was, what is this text? Why does it appear in all uppercase text? Because that's the text. The text does not appear in the English grammatical styles manuals. It's not there. I couldn't find it. And when I asked Mr. Pinder that question, which is Magistrate Pinder, in relation to a driving license and charged with driving without a license, he could not answer that question. He refused to answer. Outright would not answer the question. So it left me in a
That would be what most people recognise as all capitals, all caps, uppercase. But
all uppercase.
That's
all
nice to hear,
capitals.
Davey, baby.
That's what you refer to as glossed language or the glosser.
That's the glosser. And the word gloss means to sweep under the carpet. If anyone just go onto the your normal telephone dictionary and define gloss. You won't find glosser, Glowsa, in all uppercase, because words on the normal dictionary and words on the legal dictionary.
So I'm just going to stop that there while I'm putting my lawn shoes together. And what we've got to understand is when my mum and dad, bless them, went down and signed my life away over to the criminal cabal, it was all lowercase, wasn't it? The David Paul was lowercase and the Witcher was capitalised. So what happened? Why did it all? Because that's not the original contract. The original contract is that it's all the Christian names are lowercase, aren't they? You know, and we really do. That's a valid point, because the contract has to be pretty much perfect on all fronts. If they want to operate in a contract, then operate in a proper contract. State and the people working hand in hand together, coming together for a mutually beneficial, right, lifestyle. And if you're getting a mutual benefit right now, you let me know. Just let me know. You sent me something on VK, fantastic. When the food runs out, just been listening to Max Egan, don't think Aussies even realise China's more or less running it. Yeah, mate, trust me, these times are coming. That's why I'm growing food and lots of it as well. So we need to think on, people, of what is going on, because I think actually most people in this country now are coming to a point where they're starting to realise through their feelings and their vibrations that not all is as it should be. Someone posted this morning that Buckingham Palace has all its windows and stuff boarded up, and that the Queen has done a runner. I don't want to spoil anyone's illusions in any way, shape or form, but it is my understanding that Buckingham Palace and the cretins that live in it, that certainly don't do anything for us. If you think that the state does anything for us, you're mistaken. It doesn't. But it's due for refurbishment. 369 gazillion pound refurbishment, I do believe, is taking place in these are for politicians when you stand on their testicles when all this is over. No, they're not. They're lawn shoes. For aerations, we like a little bit of aerated lawn. So I just wanted to put that in there, all right? That what Rom's talking about is true here. They write to you from the driver license and the police, all in this John Paul Smith. It's all uppercase, all capitalised. It's a dog Latin language. But the contract that your parents signed with the government was a lowercase Christian name. So that's what you should be pulling them on.
appear different. The legal dictionary words appear in the gloss because it's the Justinian glossa system, and they're signs. So what they are, most of them have a similar meaning. But a typical one would be like goat and goat. Goat written in this language here, and goat written in this language here. In the legal dictionary, the goat is the sewer. And that's probably why which relates to the underworld, and that's why the goat is always the symbol of Satan, because of the link to the underworld, the sewer, and it's also the channels of water that the channels that the water from the land runs through the land to the sea through the goat. Whereas, and the same thing's happening sort of with this. So this is
Jesus
Latin.
Jones, yeah, you're right,
That's
mate.
Latin text.
Sad, isn't it?
But proper traditional Latin is always hyphenated, or there's a mark in between to join the signs together, because this is not a word, this is a hieroglyph, an Egyptian hieroglyph or a sign. It is a symbol and not a word. So true names and that cannot appear in this text. And this is the trickery and the deceit that we're being faced with our courts and with the Justinian deception. Because when the normal people like us that don't know how to read, we assume that that's our name. Well, I've got it here written. I think I've mentioned it already. Dog Latin, which is also directly out of the Black's Law Dictionary. You'll see again that it's glossed in the all uppercase text like this. Dog Latin.
Are you all getting this all good?
Hyphenated properly.
Yeah, you understanding it?
They've actually done the right thing.
Fantastic.
It says Dog Latin, the Latin of illiterate persons, the Latin of people that can't read. That's what literate means. Latin words put together on the English grammatical system. That's what that reads. That's what Dog Latin is. The word debase comes from the word Dog Latin written in the Standard Dictionary. And the Standard Dictionary down here, it says Dog Latin, a debased form of Latin. And then when you look at the word debased, well, that's where we come up with the word criminal and immoral, things like that. So what I'm going to show you is when you use the proper grammatical translation of John Paul Smith, and this is just to show you how wrong your presumption can be with this word. John Paul Smith translates from Latin, Dog Latin, into English as John full stop, Paul full stop, Smith full stop.
So what we're seeing there is a full stop between each word, and the typography of the words is written in the form of a proper name or a proper noun, which means one capital letter followed by lowercase.
Yes, but when you put a name together, John Paul Smith, or a name like Commonwealth of Australia, as we've got in this one here, it translates to Commonwealth full stop of full stop Australia full stop. So what we're saying is when you read this all uppercase text on a document, you will assume, because you can't read, that legal dictionary is saying they use this for the illiterate people that can't read, you will assume that John Paul Smith is your name, John Paul Smith. But let's translate using the correct Latin skills. This is the glossa to the English. So let's just translate John Paul Smith, the name. Remember, that's not your name. It's only John Paul, but this is what the courts are doing. They've got your name written on something, driveway service, as John Paul Smith. When it's translated correctly into Latin, the Latin would come as John Paul Smith. That's the correct language. This is Dog Latin. This is a presumption, but in fact says absolutely nothing. So the problem that we've found is all the new style of court documents, probably since the Federal Reserve and that's taken over,
They're treasonous.
they've actually dogged all the instruments in such a way.
Seditious and treasonous against the people.
And grammar from schools in order that our children are actually missing the ability to read the actual fact. Now,
My understanding of the definition of Dog Latin, therefore, would be Latin for people who don't know any better, or perhaps who've been deceived?
Yes, they've been deceived, but they've actually been they're deceived from schooling, because the state schools, as I said before, in 1966 in Australia, they removed Latin and grammar from the schools for this reason, so that the children will be deceived, but they won't know that they've been deceived. And that's what deceiving is all about. He who's been deceived doesn't know they've been deceived. So when they read this type of dog Latin, they're going to read one thing, but it's going to say something else. Now, the biggest find that we found is in Article 11147 of the Chicago Manual of Styles that we've always come up with. And in this section, it says the sign, it gives you an example of a sign for a car drove by is written as, and you can't see it here properly, but it's written as vehicle -drive -by. So in other words,
all capitals.
That's right. As glossed. So if it's glossed in the proper, true, correct Latin, then it's got to have the hyphens between the two, such as this here. So what they've done, they're telling you the truth.
Can you
So
still hear me as
when
well?
they give you the lie, they can turn around and always say, well, hang on a minute, we've given you the truth. It's you decided. You're the one that read that, and you're the one that chose to read that as John. The blame is on us because we can't read. But now that you start to go into court and you start asking about this and ask if the language is a form of dog Latin, and remember that dog Latin in the English translation, in the Latin translation, it's an illiterate language. That is put together Latin words on the English grammatical rules. But in the English version of dog Latin, it is called debased. And what I urge people to do is
Alan
go
Gordon
into the
Wilson.
dictionary and put in the word debased.
He's a good buddy of mine.
Because that's what you'll find. The meaning of debased is
Is that what you're talking
synonyms
about?
come up as corruption, criminal, degraded, wicked, immoral. These are the synonyms that go with debase, which is linked to dog
Yeah,
Latin,
long
which is linked
shoes.
to what our courts,
Got to aerate your bush, you know.
what could you call them? Our corporate courts and our corporate government. That's what they're using.
Boom. Righto. So, clearly there.
Go for it. Wonderful. What a lot.
So we learn something new every day, each and every one of us. That we do. This seems to be working quite well, this platform. I'm loving it. Dr. John Bergman, actually. Dr. John Bergman has got a channel on YouTube, and Dr. John Bergman is just a living legend, and he covers everything from any ailment that you've got, any illness that you've got, any remedy that you need. I would say that Dr. John Bergman is your one-stop shop to repair yourself. He's fantastic, really, really good. So, yeah, this tests out okay. What I'll do, Jesus Jones, you talking about Alan Gordon Wilson? He's my buddy, he is. I've known him quite a few years, Alan. So there's got a bit of a lag and delay on things in here. I imagine it is, because I don't suppose there's too many Alan Wilsons. So people, we've been testing. Let's see if I can find her. Elliot Shuff wants to be friends on Facebook. Well, that's nice. Bless Facebook. I mean, about a year and a half ago, I had a profile on there with about 16,000 people, a third of the size of the English army. And They pulled it. I didn't ask it. I didn't ask Alan Wilson, the historian. No, I don't. Oh, not sure, mate. Not sure about that. I think we're coming at the times, guys, where we need to sort of start thinking outside the box a little bit and becoming self-sufficient. Now, there's a little video here. I'm just going to throw my cursor around it. You can see that. It's they're called solar air heaters, and I'm going to be starting to make a few of them for the winter months, for when the sun's out. These things can really give you some trippy temperatures inside your house, and it's all free. I don't know if many of you know, but I've been putting lots of solar in at my place with Samsung power walls, and I've got some leisure batteries, and when it's all fitted, I'm about halfway, well, just over halfway through it all. I'll have 92, I think, 92 panels. So that is marvellous. Has these got holes in? Where do we go through with these in? How's that going to work? How does... Oh, they go through and then back up. Okay. Okie dokie. I got it. So, yeah, I'm waffling. Word to the wise, worth checking out. Yeah, I will do. That I certainly will. Peeps, this is fantastic. I'm in a good time at the moment. This Be Live TV is a really, really good thing. I've also got that linked up with Streamlabs. So we're going to start bringing you some real sort of funky stuff, I think, come the night times when I'm fully concentrating and I've done a bit of research on what's going on a daily, weekly, monthly basis. We can start bringing you up to speed so you guys know what's going on out there in the world and how to deal with certain issues. Because I've learned along the way in 2013 was pretty much the year I walked through the fire, and we all have to walk through the fire. Some of you might not know what that means, but what I did was I wasn't going to put up with their nonsense anymore, the system's nonsense. I said no. I'll give them a firm heads up that I wasn't going to be playing ball anymore. That means I stopped intercoursing with many of their agencies and stuff, because I knew that my country was, and not the country, it's not nothing to do with the country, this is about the people. I knew that the people were going to get it, and trust me, everyone's getting it right now, and hopefully they can start seeing it. And one of my friends, actually, he's been furloughed off of this work, whatever this furlough thing is. I don't really know what it is, but he has found himself in a situation now where he's actually, I mean, really, really questioning what's going on, like in a massive, massive way. And that's got to be a good thing, right? Let me just measure the sop of my foot. That goes there, that one. That'd be too low. Oh dear. Not too big, I don't. Hang on. Bear with me. It should be all right by the time it comes up over my trainer. So yeah, 2013, I was really getting hit by the system. They were sending me stuff, you know, well, you're going to go to prison, and I was like, God made me free. Why am I bowing down to these cretins? So I decided to just question and send them stuff. And I was having, you're going to get arrested. If we see you on the road, you're going to go to prison. These enforcement officers, one guy was a guy called Mark, something or other, can't remember his name. And I phoned him up and I just said to him one day, you don't fucking own me, excuse my French. I said, you're a scumbag. I said, the world needs to know about you people because you're seditious and you are treasonous. These people are treasonous, guys, all right? I'll put that through the wrong way. Yeah, very probably. They are absolutely treasonous, and we've got to stop this. This can't continue. We have to stop their treason, and that's why. Oh, that's not working like that, is That's why that video that I shared last night was quite encouraging, funnily enough, because of the fact that people are now starting to wake up and say, no, I don't want that. Then it should be your choice. You've got a right to a life. You've got a right to a home. You've got a right to keep your children. You've got a right to keep your cars. All these scummy councils. And let me tell you, ladies and gentlemen, they are scumbags. And it's, I don't take no pleasure out of talking like this. For sure I don't. But the truth is the truth. And they are scum. And I think they're starting to learn that we ain't for bending. So I'll be back with you later. Thanks for tuning in. I meant they put people under these words and they were made up years ago. History just repeating. Yeah, absolutely. Furlough, exactly. They're scumbags, aren't they? Government is scum. That's all it is. Right, peeps, I love you all. I will see you all a bit later. I've enjoyed this interactions this morning. Stay blessed, stay safe.